But as usual, this is the Tuesday Foolish Tech Hour, and as usual, we have the crew here. If you primarily, our purpose is to answer all our customers' questions and concerns, and I'm very glad to see we have at least 5 people on with us in the chat. I'm assuming we have a lot more out there hopefully watching the video, but please, participation is what matters and what counts and what we believe makes this the best experience for everyone involved. So we urge you to join on there, even if it's just to watch, but we do post a lot of the links that we mention and reference in the show, and you can follow along more easily that way. And hopefully now our screen shares will be a little bit better quality because of the higher bandwidth that we have access to. And
how do they participate, Michael?
How do they participate? Yes, you go to foolishtechshow.com, or you can go to foolishit.com/live to participate with us. Very easy, very simple.
Jump in our IRC chat there. And join the others.
Exactly. We're up to 6 already, so hopefully the flame wars shall be getting. No, I'm joking. But it's getting close to the Christmas period, and I thought today's topic, again, as a secondary to anyone out there who may have questions, particularly our guests, about our software or services. And that is another good point, by the way. You can remain anonymous if you don't want, to draw your attention to yourself in communication with us. That's another point of us doing it this way. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about Festivus. I know.
Can I do something before you go off on that?
Oh, okay.
It's a little tech related. So I found something yesterday, and it's been featured on Lifehacker and some other places, but it's called pi-hole.net. And essentially what this does is it turns your Raspberry Pi into a black hole for ads. And it's extremely easy to set up and work with. And I'm just going to throw a couple links in there for all the stuff that you might want to look into for it.
Would you just run by me what a black hole for ads is?
So it's a DNS. It's a DNS-based ad blocker.
So it redirects. Yeah. That's cool.
What?
You know, that's right up your alley, John, as far as like automation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's nice.
So you set your DNS to your Raspberry Pi after you've set it up like that, and then it will blacklist all the ads going through. And you can have its default set to go through Google's public DNS, but you can go in and change it to use your own public DNSs for that. So OpenDNS if you want some more features, or your cable companies, or if you use the DNS finder, you can find the best DNS to set it to.
Is this completely free?
Yeah, completely free.
Mm-hmm.
The software is extremely easy to set up. It is an ad blocker itself, but it does not get around the ad blocker blockers. Basically, websites have figured out how to detect if their ads aren't being shown.
Yes.
And will say you need to show ads if they want to do something. Like some of the Bitcoin faucets that John G showed me, I had to whitelist them using those last 2 links that I posted in there.
Yeah.
Zombie Worm, no, I haven't done a Kindle monitor. I don't have a Kindle. I'm not going to.
Already talked about this, Zombie. You've been warned.
But yeah, the Pi thing is pretty sweet. It has a web interface that they're still working on, it looks like. It didn't really work very well for me. But they also have an SSH and a LCD display option, so you can just monitor what kind of ads it's blocking in recent ones. So all kinds of cool stuff. That project seems like it's working really well. I actually have it set up on my Raspberry Pi. It took me literally 5 minutes to set it up.
Nice.
My Raspberry Pi already has a static IP, so I just changed my untangle DHCP options to give out the Raspberry Pi as the first DNS address, and then the Untangle gateway as the second DNS, and it's been working beautifully. The best thing I love about it is blocking ads on the cell phone. So any of those apps that throw in stupid mobile ads, you're easily able to block those
Yeah, that's
at the hardware level, at the network level. So.
Our guest, Brantley, that's huge. I'm so glad you brought this up today because, as usual, and I think we can all agree out there, we can all agree on a few things, and only a few things, but I think ads are certainly one of the ones that's we all would agree on, certainly. We have a guest in the 64764 asked, so may get around some of the blockers. So I guess he's asking, he or she is asking, are there ways to get around the sites that do that detection, potentially, of the ad blocking software? And is there any?
Since Michael wasn't listening to me when I answered that question, I'll go ahead and repeat it in case anyone else wasn't. It doesn't get around ad block blockers because sites have a way of determining if the ads get shown.
But is there a way around that? Is there anything you can do to prevent that?
No, you cannot go to those sites.
Is there proxies or anything like that could circumvent them? Is what I was getting at. I did hear what you said, Brantley.
No, it's from a server-side setup, so there's no way to get around ad blockers being blocked.
There's not a more effective. There's not. What about some sort of deep packet inspection to rip it out?
The only way I could ever see that working is if you have it load a page on a separate device and then it sends that copy of the page back to the server. But you're talking about...
that sounds like a job for a Pi, doesn't it?
A lot of resources and bandwidth to not interfere with your web surfing speed. And essentially at that point you would be losing any kind of bandwidth and speed gains that you got by using an ad blocker.
Okay, but interesting, for maybe those more hardcore about it, as sometimes I claim to be, that could be worth investigating.
Hey, Phil Tex, and welcome.
Oh,
hey.
How is it over there around the Mediterranean? Good, I hope.
By the way, I said hello to everyone in chat. This was before the sound issues. Hey again.
We're resolved.
I did it. Yeah.
So
I called you all individually.
Our it's Festivus Eve, so I just thought I'd spend a couple of minutes talking about Festivus. Do we all know what Festivus is?
Oh no! Zombie Worm's 3-year-old managed to bust her lip while he was looking into the Raspberry Pi.
Oh no!
Hey Glenn. Glenn just renamed himself from guest 64764.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
Yeah. Well, 3-year-olds tend to do that, bust their lip. Just don't go around any other parents that would call social services on you, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, the first time my daughter busted her lip, I freaked out. There was lots of blood.
Yeah, lips are
she
bad.
had broken teeth, and after the first time, I realized it was just going to happen.
When I was young, my brother was I can't remember the circumstance, but he was upset with me, and he chases me to our slide, and I climbed up on the top of the slide, and he, of course, climbed after me, and I slid down. So we played this funny little game for a little while, and he realized I was a little bit better at it than he was. So he got frustrated, and he went behind the shed that was right next to the swing set or the slide thing, and there was a big board back there with several nails in it. So he proceeds to take that out, and I didn't have much luck evading it, and he whacked me in the head with it and busted open my lip. Very much, as I'm sure what probably happened to all of us as children. And, well, not maybe that specific way, but thankfully the nails only scraped the sides of my cheeks, but, you know, I was otherwise okay. But he certainly had a problem with my father after that. Interesting, but yeah, he was hardcore sometimes. We roughed around far too much, but lips are more show than not. So,
Zombie Worm, you didn't miss much. We were just saying hello again to everyone, and Brian, hello. He said hello as well, but forgot to type it, so he said now. And Glenn says hello, everyone, again.
Oh, wow! See the whole crew here. So, getting back to Festivus, I don't know if anybody cares, but Festivus is from Seinfeld. Does everybody remember that episode? Eve, it was called, I don't know, The Strike, possibly. But there's a very secular holiday. It was it includes an unadorned Festivus pole, practices like airing of grievances and things like that. I thought we would go over and discuss these things in detail and see if anybody would prefer this holiday or not. It's not, it's not a holiday. It's sort of making fun. It's very much a parody, I guess. Of things.
I'm drinking warm apple cider.
That's in line with what I think most people would do this time of year.
Yeah. Johnny's got a baby.
Oh, is it yours?
Johnny,
okay.
did you ask permission of the parents before broadcasting them over the internet?
Well, that would be illegal, yeah. Yeah, don't do that.
He's blood. I'm sure it's okay.
Oh.
What's wrong with its face?
Nothing! Stop asking that. He's so adorable.
Oh. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that. Look at that. This is the reason for the season right here.
I like to, or he loves it when I do this.
Oh, wow. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Hello, cute baby.
Don't listen to him, baby.
No,
All right, just
baby.
listen to him.
I love you, baby. You're so cute.
Don't say that. No, don't do that.
No, listen, that's exactly what you want to stay away from. That's right, that's right. For the next 18 years of your life, until you know how to defend yourself. You hear that type of sound, run the other direction.
Oh, yeah, no, good job, guys.
Oh, this is horrible. This is
broke the
horrible.
baby.
This is horrible. Okay.
Looks like RMA has joined us as well in the chat. Hello, RMA.
Oh, wait, in Australia, isn't it already Festivus? What time is it in Australia? Wait a second.
It's tomorrow.
It is?
It's 14 hours ahead of time.
RMA.
Excellent,
RMA.
excellent.
Who?
So, it's already Festivus in Australia, so happy Festivus.
Hey,
guys.
congrats, Glenn, in the next couple of weeks, anyway, on the daughter coming, man. That's awesome times.
Well, RMA is Ryan. Ryan was already taken.
Oh,
Is that because you're still
Okay.
logged in somewhere else, Ryan? If so, I can fix that, Ryan. Then you can rename yourself to Ryan if you want. But RMA does sound pretty cool.
yeah, I think so too. Actually.
All right. Sorry, continue on, Michael, with your extremely interesting topic of Festivus, your pagan holiday that you're trying to convert people to.
It's just look,
The old gods
it's
aren't
obviously
dead.
Seinfeld is probably Jewish, so I mean, I guess he probably wouldn't be practicing, and there's a lot of people who don't fall into the Christian religion and don't
Oh, you mean
practice.
the Seinfeld replacement for Christmas? Festivus?
That's what Festivus is it not?
I don't know.
You might not like Seinfeld. Fine, it's a horrible topic. I'll just switch. It's fine. We'll talk about something else. So today I was looking around Slashdot, and there's I don't know. I was a big fan of A Christmas Story, with Clark Griswold and Chevy Chase and all that, and so Slashdot had a link up today, and it was about internet controllable Christmas lights and whatnot. So take a look. That's how hilarious. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna cry in a minute now. So let's see. Now it's there's now a good triune of companies that are. Did we already talk about this yesterday, Brantley, about dropping SHA-1? There's
yeah.
now Google,
Yep.
Mozilla, and
Yep.
Microsoft banding together to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Glenn. Have you heard of the Australian public service announcement against weed? The New South Wales anti-weed campaign, You're Worse on Weed, and they have hashtag Stoner Sloth. Here, I'll link to it. This is courtesy of the Chive. That's great. Apparently they thought it was a good idea to compare potheads to an actual sloth.
I was looking up the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Oh, lordy.
What do they do for Christmas?
I don't know, but they have a New Zealand Facebook. They have a New Zealand Facebook page.
No doubt. They're drinking Fosters, too.
They allow people to get married by their priests now.
Yes.
New Zealand just allowed the pasta people to marry under their own religion.
Wow. Very interesting. I suppose they get a tax, because this is what we talked about. And I said if they get a tax break, because I got mad in our conversation just because it's just crap. And then I understand that that's the point, but I'll pay attention to it when they have tax exempt status. Is what I'm saying. So otherwise, just don't come at me with that crap.
And these are potentially not safe for work, but these are amazing Christmas cards if anyone needs something to send out to their family and friends. Any of these would probably be awesome. The 8th one is probably the most not safe for work one out there, but I really do like number 5, and I'll post that on my screen here because that is one of the best ones.
Speaking of this time of year, it's always good to shop here for stocking stuffers or otherwise for your geek and tech friends.
Some gifts stay hat wrapped and hidden. That's awesome. A great Christmas card. What'd you say, Michael? Oh, ThinkGeek Gifts.
Always, fun to shop at.
It's always fun to window shop at ThinkGeek.
Mm-hmm.
It's even more fun to compare their pricing to other places after window shopping to get ideas.
I would really
Sorry,
like to go to there.
guys.
Johnny, we need to do that. We need to go to the ThinkGeek store.
My problem is that I used to buy from ThinkGeek without doing that, and I understand that, okay, fine, and I would do that. I don't have a problem supporting ThinkGeek, but goodness, the geek points that I have accumulated over many years continue to expire regularly, so it's pointless to accumulate them. So.
That's pretty shitty.
Whatever. So I'll just pay less elsewhere. I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't shop at ThinkGeek.
But no, it's window shop at ThinkGeek is what I was saying that I do. I don't care what you do. That's how I roll.
Look for ideas.
I didn't know that there was a store.
I'm so sorry.
There's
ThinkGeek.
There's a ThinkGeek store.
I thought it was all online.
Not anymore.
No, they opened a store.
I would be so broke if we went.
In Orlando.
Yeah.
It's in Orlando?
Yeah. Orlando, Florida. The Florida Mall.
Oh,
South Orange
I was
Blossom
just there.
Trail. Yeah, they have a store there.
Huh. I didn't even see it.
They had a Star Wars cosplay contest on the 12th.
Yeah, I was not there.
They opened September 25th. They're next to JCPenney in Suite 748.
We parked at JCPenney, and I went right through it to go in the mall.
Do any of you guys do
it.
Linux syncing? I've always been fascinated with rsync, and I thought it was really cool. But I ZFS only in its file system capacity, and how it would relate, in comparison to EXT and others in BT RFS. But I didn't realize that it had a effective replacement for rsync. The capability that's in a lot of cases extremely fast and just as simple. So I'm going to go ahead and post that for everyone's perusal on if you're on the Linux front or otherwise GNU front. I'm sure these tools are available under GNUPG, or whatever it is. But I'm a big fan, next generation file systems, BTRFS. I'd recommend probably as a general purpose replacement for ext4 going forward. But ZFS, maybe for servers is ideal.
What's it now?
This capability is very is interesting. What? Oh, so this is syncing. So how we use, or we've used in the past, BT Sync, and we use the what we're doing, the own cloud and stuff like that.
Johnny said she's going to get me stocking stuffers at ThinkGeek, and it reminded me a good stocking stuffer is prosthetic legs.
Prosthetic what?
Legs.
Prosthetic legs.
But
I get it.
Yes, I'm getting it too. Finally, I get a joke in a reasonable amount of time. That's wow. Oh, wow. But at any rate, if you look at this and look at the testing that's performed, and granted, this is written by a guy that's he can tear apart rsync because he's used it for I don't know what was it, like 14 years or something like that. Anyway, it's really interesting. It may not, if you don't care about syncing, obviously it's not going to matter for you. But there's a slew of good information in that, and I just think that we should all be aware of the potentials for replacement file systems and how they relate to common user-oriented tasks like syncing data from one machine to the next, or even administrative tasks in that context as well. So take a look at that, folks. I think that's worth your time.
Also, if you live in America and you buy a drone yesterday or going forward, the FAA drone registration site is now up and live, and it applies to anyone. If you purchased a drone yesterday or going forward, you have to register your drone before you fly it. If you already had your drone before then, you have until February 19th to register it before you'll face the hefty
What about this? What if I
civil
build
and criminal charges that they've tagged on?
Hefty.
What if I build a drone that
wimpy,
manufactures
wimpy.
other drones, and the drone itself that I manufacture doesn't fly, but all the drones that the drone manufacturers fly?
And RMA said just to use someone address that you hate. Although it has to be tied to your credit card, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work out, Ryan. Ryan.
Get a PO box.
Well, your credit card tied to your PO box? Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes they can. But still, there is some legal stuff going on. Apparently, Congress had passed a law back in 2012 that said the FAA can't enforce or make up rules and regulations like that. So there may be some further discussion on it in January when Congress reconvenes. But yeah, it is pretty a crazy system that anything over half a pound up to 55 pounds has to register. And right now the wording includes the hobbyist planes and helicopters. But Nick, I was reading that the hobby group that like the association for those people is telling all their people not to register it, and they don't feel it qualifies for their stuff because for over 80 years they have been proud of enforcing strict safety regulations and guidelines, and they don't need no FAA to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so
Well, I hope the FBI goes down on them like Waco, man.
Oh boy. Okay, listen. What do you guys think about? You guys like holograms, or do techs and geeks like holograms? What do you guys think about holograms? You be happy? You like them? You think they're cool? You like the whole Leia hologram?
Well,
What you got, Michael?
What do I got? I've got femto fairy lights, bitches. Okay, this is touchable holograms. Touchable holograms, folks. Come on, suck it. There you go.
RMA has lots of holograms from the 80s.
Oh, remember Gem and the holograms? Oh, Gem and the holograms.
Here, let's look at Michael's holograms. I'll turn his video on.
oh boy.
What? No. No, where did my face?
Oh.
Oh, no.
Don't double charge me for that.
Oh, gosh.
But please take a look at those. Those are cool. Look at that last picture on that page. Come on, folks. Look at that. Look at the fairy. Look at the fairy light. They've created a fairy and touched it. I mean, this is like
Seriously, that's not even bigger than a needle pinhead.
But
Not worth it.
Jesus.
That's what I was going to say.
Bigger than that.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like
I am not interested in holograms until it's not
Peter Pan and his
celebrities
hologram.
and
Tinkerbell.
Even Peter Pan's fairy was as big as his fist.
Tinkerbell. Jesus. Why is everything I do a problem? Why is all my interest?
Why are you talking about Jesus all of a sudden? I don't get it.
I'm not interested in holograms until it's A, not celebrities, and B, fills an entire room.
Okay, fine.
They do have hologram boxing. You can do that.
Fine.
Right?
Nobody likes or wants to talk about holograms. I think this next topic is far more fascinating than holograms ever were because it's based on reality, folks. This one right here is very informative. It's basically a supernova caught in the act. And this has never before been observed, and this was observed by the Hubble Space Telescope, as is known for quite a number of impressive imagery.
You might should have started with that one.
Okay. It captured the Hubble Space Telescope captured the images of the first ever, and this was predicted. That's the reason why they had it, in sight. They positioned it in advance to capture this. That's what also makes this incredibly impressive, is that they were able to do that. Now we can't even predict storms, very well, or earthquakes and other things. Yet we were able to predict something that happened so very, very long ago in a galaxy far, far away.
It's not that hard. All this stuff happened hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Well, I know and it's in the past for the star in question, but it's in the present for us, the event that we perceived as such.
Oh yeah, the SpaceX launch, which Glenn posted to.
That's impressive, yeah.
Yesterday, he posted a link to that.
So the impressive part about this is, folks, is that it's going to make space travel economical. Okay, this is going to cut in half the cost of space travel by having a reusable launch vehicle.
Because that is what I want, to save a pretty penny when I go into space. Sounds
Well, you can argue it in all sorts of different ways that, we're not going to, I'm never going to have the money to go into space anyway, so it's
Give me the bargain ticket to space.
Listen, commercial space travel is huge. You know how much it costs right now to launch something into space because there's no competition? They will literally cut the cost in half out the gate, and then probably after that it will be reduced further.
You know what they're doing to coach right now for airplanes? Imagine what coach will be like on the spacecraft. Like, you won't even get to see space. They'll actually have you tied down so you can't experience any gravity.
Absolutely, and people would pay for that for the workers who mine asteroids.
What are you talking about?
They're going to mine asteroids. There's going to be asteroid mining.
Not in our lifetime.
Did you guys ever see the movie Ice Pirates?
Anyway,
this sounds like it's going to go real well. Yeah.
Ice Pirates. I'm sure you've got some movies you want to talk about pirates, but Ice Pirates are some of them. Anyway, moving forward, how come no one's talking about this GodMode Snoden malware thing? What's that about? Why is this? What is wrong? What is it? When was this? Have I been under a rock?
Let me see.
It's the God Surge and Deity Bounce NSA malware that lives in your motherboard circuitry on chip.
First I heard of it.
Oh dear. Then maybe it's news then. Well, hey, I just felt it important to ask about or alert about. Doesn't sound fun, but I'm trying to figure out just how advanced it could possibly be right now.
It says it can only be discovered through forensic investigation of the physical data chip using an electron microscope.
That's why I was like, is this for real? Is this for real? I mean, it's on the chip. Well, that's a fancy way for saying it's embedded on the chip, I would assume. But
the first
you would
blog
be able
post I
to,
can find
to
about
detect
it.
what
or
it
is
does.
that crap?
Here, check out this link, Nick. That one was back from January 22nd.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, because I must January. Damn, I do live under a rock.
And the document they have listed on there was from 2008.
Ice Pirates was a great movie. You guys should we should talk about Ice Pirates. No, please, it's my show. I only get one day to do this, and I've still got a few minutes. And okay, so the thing is, in the future water is the most valuable substance. So basically, two space pirates, they gotta go capture us, or they're captured, but then they gotta save this princess, and they're helped to find the father. But it's Robert.
It looks like it was for Power Edges,
Robert Urich.
50 and 1950. So it's for Dell stuff that uses Xenon 100 and 5300 processors.
Now,
Oh, that's
so it's something specifically targeted for Dell Power Edge servers.
Okay, so then I guess the issue then becomes, what is it that's not what is it that's more generic, or it's on your Asus motherboard, or whatever.
Yeah, well, this was from 2008 that they started doing this. So I'm
I'd heard about junk then, but I didn't know it was this. I didn't relate, but I was like, oh crap.
Snoden discovered a lot.
Well, but the big bullcrap thing is in 2000. I mean, malware being there is one thing, but this is talking about capturing. This is talking about advanced stuff, more so than I thought it was that they were talking about. This is like code, with the malware on chip. And then inject, but how it injects to the OS, obviously upon installation, but and it would obviously hopefully they would have some mechanism for it to be invisible to the kernel, but really.
I'm looking more into.
And in 2008, I didn't have a webcam on my I didn't have a webcam and a microphone without an off switch on my computer either, so it wasn't a big deal. So I mean, at least for personal privacy. But the way they're talking, this is bad for not just the data on your computer, but you sitting in front of it is what is scary.
Yeah, it's all definitely scary. And Congress just passed CISA.
HUSA?
The Computer Information Security Act, which basically makes companies non-liable for any data breaches or handing your data over to the government.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, they passed that with the latest budget renewal package that went through last week.
Killing us all, taking away every liberty we have.
Throw our Constitution in the trash and burn it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's I mean,
listen, we're gonna wake up one day. We're gonna wake up one day, and it is gonna be nothing more than a freaking 200-year-old piece of trash or 250-year-old piece of trash paper, because it's not gonna be enforced. It's not gonna be upheld by anybody, and there's gonna be so many legal loopholes to it. It's gonna become meaningless, and nobody's put their foot down yet, and it's very few,
Huh?
I don't know. Forget it. This is political. We gotta stop talking.
And it's talking, but what it's talking about is that companies can be liable. You can't just, there's not a loophole for, there might be a loophole to make it not liable through some other sort of contract or whatever, but
yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with
The point is, look, the banks have responsibility with our money. Listen, banks have a government responsibility with our money up to at least $100,000 to protect it. There is no such protections upon our private data, which is at least as valuable, I would say, in this day and age. Okay, so to me, I believe this is a huge issue.
Your private data wouldn't be worth more than 10 grand at most.
You have no idea. I'm like, I gotta be like Black Jesus. You crazy. I love you, crazy fuckers. Yeah.
Okay.
It's still morning time.
The Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution states the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects, which would include all their data, against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
But see, guess what? They don't teach the Constitution in school. They don't teach it.
You're talking about the right to be secure in your things. You're not talking about the right of the other company to get robbed.
You've handed your
another party.
It's not your private data anymore. You've handed your data over to Google or Facebook.
Okay, so you've handed it over to them.
Verizon.
Yeah.
You've handed it over to them when you agreed to whatever.
But again, we hand over our money to
They're
banks.
not talking about they're going to be able to come into your computer and take all your stuff.
We hand over
just do
money
that.
to
Okay, well,
banks.
if your data is in the cloud and you put it there, for the purpose of security, do they have the right to do whatever they want to with it? I mean, I guess it's
yes, they do.
It's determined by whatever agreement you agree to when you enter into a
treat our data as money. Treat our data as money. If they protected our data like they protected the money in the bank, we'd be a much better world.
Michael, our money is not protected in the bank. I don't see why you think you have so much faith in the bank.
I guess not. Yeah, you're right. But
the bank is just
part-time guards with guns.
Yeah. The bank is just a private corporation that sells money to our government. And you're saying
our government can print money, so I don't think that
negative. The Federal Reserve can print money, and the Federal Reserve is made up of the 12 private bank top people. Do some research on where your money comes from. There's a good movie series about it. It's called Zeitgeist. They kind of go through it.
Zeitgeist.
Apparently you didn't watch it, so I don't need to know how to.
And the History Channel had a nice.
He knows how to say it, but he ain't watched it.
Yeah.
Look, look. These are all sort of conspiracy theorists. I've looked around at a lot of these ideas, and it's sure. There's also 6 degrees of separation.
Michael, it's not a conspiracy theory. The banks have been trying to take over the world since they were formed back in England. And they're doing a very good job of it.
Isn't that why there's a World Bank?
That's why we're not on the gold standard anymore. It's because the banks decided that wasn't worth it anymore.
Well, they wanted to control all the gold.
Yeah. No, they wanted to control all the money without having to worry about if they have gold or not to back it up.
Well, yeah. That too.
I'm going to cry myself to sleep on Christmas Eve.
Glenn, I know that those are the values for regular people, but if it's Michael's, it's not worth that much.
I have an identity, and my identity is worth something. Stop belittling me.
I don't see your identity. All I see is a logo on a screen. How do we even know you're just not
I'm computer generated.
AI.
I'm computer generated. Yeah, that's me. I'm the most advanced computer generated AI in the world.
I coded him. I did my worst.
Okay, so you must have done that hungover on a Saturday morning.
Wasn't exactly trying to code the model person in the first place, you know.
That's just a whole bunch of that'll do.
Glenn just posted Michael's IP address in the public chat.
Yeah. Go ahead and go to that public IP. Yeah, that'll get you far on the internet.
Oh, so everyone, please go to this page on our site.
What?
It took Michael quite.
Oh. What?
I lost you.
I just posted it in the public chat. Go to that page on our site.
Oh.
Oh. Michael's
going to it right now.
and he's like, we have a problem with one of the pages on our site.
It doesn't load correctly.
Just sending you back to 127.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? My logic falls.
I mean, it was funny how long this went on, but I was laughing.
I take life seriously, and
oh dearie. FoolishIT.com/home.
RMA, I'm afraid of what web server you have running on your computer right now. Because if people are running a web server on their computer, that's going to load their default page.
Oh, I read something funny. No, actually it wasn't funny. It was, I didn't know this. I saw this in a little postie the other day. Windows 10 has a game bar feature, and it can be used to record everything on the computer, other apps and things.
I've heard.
It's built in.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, I did not know this, and apparently you can it's like Windows key and then G, but you have to do something to enable that first, or I don't know.
There's an extra hoop, I think, but yeah. I looked into it. For some reason, I really wasn't. I was just not. I asked myself though. Maybe for certain people, I think that's great, but I don't have to record myself, and I don't want to.
Well, it wasn't yourself. It was just Control flag G will ask you if you want to open it, and then I guess you got to have the app open in the foreground or whatever, and it asks you if it's a game, and if you say yes, then it'll always just pop up when or whatever.
Yeah.
Microsoft, but the point is that you could use it instead of screen capture software for other things.
Yeah,
demonstrations or software demonstrations, for example. We do.
Concern though is that Microsoft will. The concern though is that this has been exploited. People are using this now to do those other things. Microsoft might lock down on it, and because they can with Windows 10 is make changes like that relatively easily. So I don't know what their official stance on something like that is, but it'd be worth to know.
Yes, I'm sure Windows 10 is going to stream everything you do back to Microsoft, and then somebody is going to analyze it.
I don't want them to record anything, so I would. That's not an option for me.
I cleaned out my snake cage today. Replaced it with all new Aston.
Anonymous is claiming that Cloudflare is protecting ISIS from their DDoS attacks.
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cloudflare
use Cloudflare.
Free version.
Okay. Just be careful. This has apparently a very unpleasant aftertaste. So.
Well, I mean, I guess that's saying something for their service, isn't it?
That it works pretty well to block against anonymous.
Oh yeah, let me post a link to that.
Honestly, Glenn, I don't see a virus that's going to stream your entire desktop. That's a lot of bandwidth. Even the ones now that have that capability only do screenshots.
Well, see, and see, that's what I'm really wondering, because I mean, you can do a lot of really cheap quality screenshots, or you can do just just a low quality recording of anything, or audio, or whatever you want, and you can probably even change it on the fly too, and be like, hey, what's homie doing today? Oh, looks like he might be doing something interesting. Let's turn on the full shebang.
It's possible.
And then your Netflix starts buffering.
RMA says it would be more worrisome to have it on someone's phone than their PC. You have two cameras and a mic.
Yeah. Well, that's not only is that true, but it's also going where your PC ain't.
Yeah.
I think, I'm actually really worried about my phone, because there's more data on my phone. It has access to everything on all of my computers and my internet accounts and everything, bank, everything. It's on my phone.
Mm-hmm. That's very, very difficult.
That's why John McAfee. I posted this in the Socialies the other day. It was an article on John McAfee. He did an interview somewhere recently. He's got like a gun he's holding to his head without a shirt on or something. He's wacky. He talks a little bit about the how they accused him of the murder and wherever it was, Belize, and how he fled from that briefly. But he also talks about his new company, which is all about Android and cell phone security. Seriously. So he's trying to be a cell phone.
So enough about my dead wife. Let's
expert.
talk about my cell phone business. Let's not discuss my dead wife. Let's talk about my cell phone business in the same sentence. That's crazy. Deplorable.
Dead wife.
Or did girlfriend or whoever it was, McAfee killed.
It was supposedly his next door neighbor.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Or something. That
I love how murder.
I remember if you read the article though, he makes his case in like 2 sentences about what happened, and it actually makes perfect sense.
Well,
you would hear something like that, especially from Belize. Makes perfect sense actually, but essentially they were just trying to extort him for cash, but that he wouldn't donate, supposedly, which you don't know. You don't know that because you're not John McAfee going to Belize because you want to chill. So you're not even going to Belize. I know you're not because I pay you.
You're not even going to Belize.
I'm just saying he makes a case for himself, and he is. I don't think I've ever seen him. Well, I don't know how. I've never went back until he, was crazy and in the news. But I don't think I've ever even seen him defend his software.
Is it McAfee 2016?
I don't think I've ever seen him defend his software. I think in this article he doesn't even mention it, but the article title says he won't even install it on anything he owns. But anyway, so at least he's got a little integrity there, or for whatever it's worth at this point. I don't know. I just think he's an interesting guy. I would read more about him every time I see something about him. Better than following celebrity, anyway.
Zombie, I think you would need a cluster of pies to manage Michael's IP.
Oh,
Yeah,
we talked about using pies for robotics. We were talking about using, or I was discussing using Pi for robotics and potentially, like, I would think, you don't have a tremendous amount of power depending upon which Pi you choose, but you could have it do like maybe a Pi per hand, or even, or a few Pis per arm, and you would maybe make maybe even interchangeable parts and plug them together, and you have a self-assembling robot person. Like, what was that game I played? Clank.
Why are you so into making robots to make robots all of a sudden?
Because they need to reproduce to be alive.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot more factors for them to meet that qualification.
Well, I want to get that big one out of the way, though, first.
And that's not exactly reproducing. That's
and did we learn nothing from Terminator?
No, apparently not. But
I found the John McAfee link that's in chat now, by the way.
He is a robot. He would know.
I think we should build. There was written a sci-fi story about
Michael
this.
is the beginning of Skynet. I guess we're not that worried after all.
Oh, also in the article, he posts his private cell phone number.
Me?
Is that the one?
Oh,
yeah. He posts his private cell phone number. It's 203-512-2161.
The McAfee, you mean?
He says he doesn't really use it. He never talks on it, but people send him texts with questions. Go ahead.
You know what he's asking for. That's horrible. Poor man. He's insane.
Well, by the time he made it back to the U.S. after this, he was supposedly penniless for what it took to get him back here, and not so much. He talks about, and this is the one. Yeah, this is the one he was talking about having sex with. Golden brown shower. You have some crazy. You just read the article.
It's still morning time.
His early days at Lockheed Martin, actually, under government security clearance, is what he was talking about when he was talking about this, by the way. So it's interesting.
After only a decade, SuperTux 0.4 was released. Took him 10 years. God bless him.
Winamp may get revived soon. Another company just bought the rights for him.
Yeah, I had to tell all my friends who use Winamp. I have a whole cluster of friends, at least 4 or 5 of them that still use Winamp.
I think it was the same people that do Buzzbend or
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, I think I heard something like that, but you're probably flipping it around. It's probably take the end of that word and put it on the beginning.
Zubu.
I don't know. Look up the article. Oh, here it is. You talking about this? The Winamp relaunch?
I don't know. It was one of the recent Slashdot things from yesterday, I think.
The stuff. I think I got it. So,
well, it is time to wrap it up, guys. Thanks everyone for joining us today. I'm pretty sure, Nick, are you going to be on tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm down for tomorrow. So 2 p.m. 2 p.m. We'll be back Eastern Standard Time. Join us at foolishtechshow.com. You can watch us there and jump in the IRC chat. And otherwise, thank you Brian, Filthex, John G, RMA, Ryan, Glenn, Zombie Worm, all for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
It was a fun day. We'll see y'all tomorrow. And Proctor, whenever you're ready, you can hit the stop button.
Merry Christmas, people.
Every day. Yes,
Merry
we'll do it.
Christmas, people.
But
Thanks for
Happy holidays if you've got
on
some other ones. I don't know what they all are. I'm just saying.
Someone will likely be around on Thursday. Friday, it's question room. Well, actually, Friday might be. It depends.